So today we're doing something a little bit different. I am putting together a custom order for Spirits of Yorkshire. This is going to be their welcome sign. So I've been messing about with some of the settings on the machine, and I have downloaded a bookmark which has a dragon sitting on some books reading a book. And it's also got some like glasses on it and stuff. Decided to put that on the welcome sign, and I am going to be doing those as bookmarks as well, and those will be exclusive for Spirits of Yorkshire. I'll show you what I've got so far, and we'll try and work this out together. Now this is just the welcome sign. They also want an open and closed sign, but that's going to require a little bit of the embroidery and a little bit of the sewing as well. So let me show you what I've got so far. In fact, I need to add a finishing touch, which is a black border or a satin stitch around. Just going to set that. Don't need to rotate it, we're going to change the size so it's as big as possible. Okay, that's not what I expected. Let's delete that and try again. Need to stretch it out a bit more. There we go. Okay. So I think that looks good. Okay. So let me show you what I've got. I'm going to turn it. So this is the bookmark with the dragon. It says, "Well-behaved halflings and familiars, welcome." Now, I've had to make sure and place this in such a way that all of the letters can be seen, as well as the dragon. I wanted the welcome to be large. So as you can see, that this is what I call a Frankenstein design. It incorporates a pre-made design as well as some lettering and all that kind of stuff. I don't have digitizing software, so instead I've had to use what's on the machine pre-programmed already. So we'll see how this works out. Hopefully it should be good. So I'm going to click embroidery. Now I don't know if the outside is going to be that thick, but I suppose we'll have to see. Now there is also going to be some steps that I'm going to skip. So around the dragon, it's not going to have the border around the dragon. And what I might have to do is I might have to start, towards the back. Okay. And stitch out the outline first before I do anything else. So I'm going to do this on I don't know whether or not to do it on tearaway or water soluble. It's going to be on leather, and I'm also going to make sure that it's got some foam. Do I? Now it says 75 minutes, but it's probably not going to take 75 minutes. So we need my big hoop. Big hoop for big design. This is a 7x12. No, it's not 7x12. It's an 8x12 inch hoop. And I'm going to put on some tearaway stabilizer. And I'm going to put 2 sheets on because this is probably going to be a thick design. Yeah, we'll do that. Without further ado. So this is the leather that I'm going to use. You can see it's nice and blue and stable. Actually, I need to change the thread. This is foam, so that should give it a little bit more stability. Okay, setting 2 lights bright. So I'm going to cut round. And I've done it, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, so this is the outline and this is the bulk. So I've managed to make the bulk a bit smaller. So from here we're going to add our leather. Is that way or that way? That way. Pin it down. This is definitely going to be a thick one. However, it needs to be as sturdy as possible. So that it will last. And then when the design has been stitched, I'm going to add a black back to this. So it's going to go back under and it's going to stitch out a gold outline. To 0. So first off, it's going to do the dragon. Now it's going to start doing the lettering. So it's going to start off with the welcome at the bottom. we just need to add the black back. And the black backing, sorry, I found our typical anti-static backing. So for around the outside, the satin stitch, I think I'm going to go for a different colour. So I'm going to go for this brown instead, just to make it pop a bit more. So let's remove the gold. Yes, this is gold, not yellow. Need to wind the bobbin. Because this is the first time I'm using this colour, so I don't have a bobbin yet. And whilst that's winding, we're going to trim the excess. Boom. Right. And then create some holes.
generous bit. And that's that. So now I want to try and make a open and closed sign. Again, it's another Frankenstein, but let's take a look. So this is actually a witch lives here sign, and then at the, well, you can't see it, but it says closed and open as well. Now my idea is, because I'm going to have one side as open, one side as closed, my idea is I'm going to first lay down some wash away stabilizer, and I'm going to use black leather with a glow in the dark thread, and that's going to stitch out the closed. I'm going to have to do that first before I stitch the rest out. So essentially I'm doing the back first, then I'm going to stitch out the front open, and I'm going to tack the closed bit that I did on the back, and we should all be done. So let's see how this goes. So this is a 5x7 hoop which fits our signs, and this is wash away stabilizer. Okay. Yeah. So this is kind of like a black holographic that I've been meaning to try and use and get rid of. Always a bonus. Pin it down. The reason why I've been trying to get rid of this is because it is relatively thick. It's not very nice to work with. And the only way I can actually use it is if I do a one-sided design, which I don't do many of, so. Whipping out glow in the dark. And if this is going to be black, I want a nice white. Yeah, we'll use that one. We do straight up white. Now I am going to need a bobbin. Now I do have this scrap white, but I don't know if it's going to be big enough for the design. I do have more white, it's just this is what was left over, that's all. Bobbin goes in, this goes off. I feel that's wrapped around twice. Okay. Nope. No. For context, I forgot to put it onto the actual closed bit that I want. That's open. Okay. Closed. That's better. There we go. Okay. Back. I'm going to take this out. Let's take this off. I'm going to stick with our 5x7 hoop, and again I'm going to have some wash away stabilizer. So I've pinned it all the way around so it's nice and tight. That's going to go on the machine. I need to change the thread actually. So I'm going to change it from this glow in the dark thread to a well, first off I'm going to stick with white because it does squiggles. So I'm going to switch to a white. It looks silver but it's actually white, I promise. And we are going to need another bobbin. Bobbin in. Okay. Reset it to 0. In fact, before it does the thing, I want to check if this is big enough. Ooh, only just. Yep. Perfect. Fantabulous. So this is the foam to keep it nice and stable. Now we're going to trim the excess. No, as always, I've lost my seat. The mango fir. Okay, and from there we're going to tack this down. back under. Instead of a witch lives here, I want it to do closed. No, I want it to do open actually. There we go. Now that that's done, there we go. Just going to flip over and I'm going to cut this excess. And I'm going to marry it up with the other side. Like that. And then we're going to pin. See how that goes. Moment of truce. Oh, nice. Fantastic. So, remove all the pins. I'm going to trim the excess that we don't need. And then it's going to finish off with a satin stitch. this is very thick. So it's a lot thicker than my usual, but that's good because then it means it can actually stay on the designated side. Hopefully, fingers crossed. What's left to do is to punch the holes, and then put the string through. That's one. There we go. 2 holes. Don't need a lot. Now what I'm also going to do is I'm going to add some bells. And I also want to add some dragons. So yeah, so I've got these charm dragons. That I think will look really cute and nice, because it'll match her welcome sign as well. Actually, I'm just thinking I might make this longer so I can have the bells dangling. I can reuse that. When they dangle, they've got pull it out a bit so you can tie a knot. And then we'll put the little dragon on the front, just like that. Two little dragons, 2 bells, open, closed.